Hi, I'm Joe Lewis, and this is Fans Questions.
Joe, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. So we put the call out to the fans to ask for them to send their questions in for you. As expected, we got some ones that we did predict, and then others that weren't so predictable. But I'll start off with one which is perhaps a little left field. So, Joe, what is your go-to scran after a game?
Well, immediately after the game, I bring some of my own stuff to the changing room and have that quickly afterwards. But then once I get home, usually some sort of pasta dish. I probably won't cook it myself, probably order something. It's not really what you want to be doing after a game, cooking. So order something, maybe pasta or pizza, something like that.
Decent. Who is your best friend in football?
Jono. We're really close. Obviously play next to each other on the pitch and known each other a few years now. Really close, like to do stuff outside of football, and he's a great guy.
Next up, is the lack of goals from our centre-backs a frustration, and is it something that you talk about as a squad?
It is frustrating. Obviously me and Jono contributed last year with a few. I've done in other years in my career as well at other clubs. It's quite strange really that we haven't picked up many goals from that this season. And we do discuss it sometimes, but obviously our main aim is to keep goals out at the other end, and obviously hopefully we can contribute with a few at the other end before the end of the season.
Excellent. This one's another food related one. Joe turns into an absolute warrior when he puts on the Wimbledon shirt. Can he talk us through his pre-match routine? What does he eat for breakfast?
Right, okay. So if it's a 3 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday, try and sleep till about 9:30, 10, and then I'll get up, have some, they're sort of like Weetabix, but I'm celiac, I'm allergic to gluten, so like a gluten-free version, and a bit of fruit, maybe some toast. I eat quite a lot before a game, and some lads don't like to eat too much.
Do you not feel a bit heavy?
No, I hate it when I'm hungry, so that will distract me. So I go and make sure I'm full. So that in the morning, and then for pre-match, rice and chicken usually. Again, because I'm allergic to gluten, when we go away, like the night before the game and the day of the game, like there's only really one choice I've got, which is the rice and the chicken. So I eat a lot of that. The stick taken out of me for it, but yeah.
I'm going to combine a few questions here, because obviously they're asking about your shorts, Joe.
Yep.
First of all, just to recap, what made you have the short shorts, and do you enjoy the fact that it winds opposition fans up quite a lot?
So it started pre-season last season when we were away, and I just really got used to it. I wouldn't describe it as any sort of superstition or anything like that. It's just I'm so used to it now. I think it would feel strange doing anything else. Feels normal, so I've just kept on doing it. Probably will for a while, and I've got no problem with it. Winding opposition fans up. Without every game without fail, there'll be some sort of reference, or more than one actually, quite a lot, to the shorts, but it's fine by me. I don't mind.
Brilliant. Next question: who is the greatest Welsh player of all time, or who's your favourite Welsh player of all time?
I think it's got to be Bale. I was about 15, 16 when Wales got to the Euro semi-finals, and that was sort of peak Bale in the Wales shirt. So yeah, I think it's got to be him.
Alex asks, what's your hair routine to get the mullet looking so beautiful?
Not much. Just a shower, dry it off, and then maybe some sort of like sea salt spray in it. But it's naturally quite curly, so I don't need to do much to it.
Brilliant. How well have you settled into life down south and in London?
Yeah, really well. It's very different to where I grew up. A lot more stuff to do, and that keeps us busy. My girlfriend, we like to do stuff here. Take advantage of all the opportunities there are, and I've settled in really nicely.
Brilliant. And how do fans help you in games?
Massively. When this place is, almost always bouncing, and when it is, it gives a huge boost. When you hear individual shouts from the fans as well, like encouraging things, or you do something well and you hear a couple of people sort of praising you for that in the stand, it's really nice. It gives you a little bit of extra energy and helps you kick on.
Sylphan asks, who's the best player you have played with at Wimbledon so far?
Oh, that's a tough
Very
question,
tough one.
isn't it?
Yeah, you can say a few.
That's a really, really difficult question. Right, Jono, my centre-half partner, is going to come up again. Reevesy, getting on the ball in midfield, moving it round. can't look past Ali, obviously, what he's gone and done and since he left. To be honest with you, there's so many, and particularly with this group, I think this is probably the best team I've ever played in. So, honestly, I could name every single player.
Best moment of your career so far?
I've been in 2 playoff finals and lost both of them, so neither of those. Game here against MK this season, the first one, and then the FA Cup as well. Both of those have got to be up there. And one that sticks in the mind is a semi-final, playoff semi-final I played at Torquay just after COVID, so it was the first time we had fans back in. Won that game, and that was pretty special.
League 2 title or up via the playoffs?
League 2 title, easy.
Brilliant. Song that motivates you before a game?
So I like to listen to an artist at the moment. He's called Warren Ziders. It's sort of like a country rock sort of thing. Song in particular, there's one called Relapse. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Nice. Who's the one goalkeeper you felt most comfortable playing in front of in your career?
Well, we have to go OG, haven't we? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you could give any advice to young referees, what would it be and why?
I'm really expecting that.
No.
I think obviously there's lots of situations in games where players probably act and react to referees' decisions that in ways they probably shouldn't, in quite aggressive ways. But I think it's definitely helpful when the referee's willing to have conversations with you, when they're quite calm, relaxed. If you approach them, that they're open to talking to you, discussing, any questions you've got or why they made the decision. I think that sort of irons out problems quite quickly.
Fair enough. Lindsay, who is obviously our assistant kit person, her son Max is 12 and he sent in the question, what's your most memorable Wimbledon game to date and why?
Yeah, the 3-0 one at home, the one I mentioned earlier. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. And then who motivates you the most at the club?
I look to Jono a lot. I think we try and approach certain things in similar ways, particularly games. And when I see he deals with certain situations in certain ways, adverse situations, and the way he deals with them, I think that's quite inspirational.
And just talk us through the process of when you sign permanently for the Dons.
It was an interesting week or so. Quite a difficult week. I hadn't expected to be called back from the loan at that point, so there hadn't really been any preparation put into what would happen if that did happen.
Yeah.
But I was pretty sure that I wanted to stay at the club, and then it was just sort of making sure that everyone knew that was the situation, that was how I felt, and then getting the deal sorted. But yeah, it's difficult. You didn't know where you were one day to the next, but yeah, the important thing is that we got it sorted.
One aspect of the club that you like the most?
The community feel, the ability to leave a game and bump into people that you've bumped into the week before that, and have a conversation, catch up. People you bump into on a regular basis that you've spoken to before. I wouldn't say there's too many faces at the club that I'd call unfamiliar. You're regularly bumping into people and having conversations, so probably that.
Excellent. And then last one, will you stay forever?
Why not? Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll take that. Cheers, Joe.